Here's some diagnostic questions you could ask any of them without knowing anything else what they believe that will help you know which way to go, like those choose your own adventure books. Yeah. So if you say, lawyers establish a basis, even if the lawyer's supposed to ask questions they know the answer to, doing cross-examination. So the first questions you ask might be dumb, but they're setting the foundation. So you might say, so you believe that you're descended from Jacob? Yes, okay, right. Now, you believe there's then Gentiles and then there's Hebrews in the world, right? Yes. Okay, so you believe you're a Hebrew. What's your view of these other nations? What will happen to them? What's their purpose? What's God's opinion of them? What does the Bible say about them? Usually Israelites, they think they're the Bible guy in the room, so say, well, let me read a verse. So you have to, and they assume it's saying what they're saying it says, so they'll go and you have to, so I'll say, well, what is that verse saying? How did it answer? If you're not clear on what it's saying there. So you'll kind of know right away, do they think so-called other nations can't even attain salvation, or do they think it's not even something that's attainable to them? Okay. The ones who don't think it's attainable, that would usually be someone who's descended from one West Israelism. Most Israelites don't know those terms. Like a lot of us don't know, very few Christians know like maybe more than maybe a dozen, if that, of what other denominations really believe in detail. It's similar with them, and how many of them know their history? People who have been in Assemblies of God for years may not actually know much about the Assemblies of God history or Foursquare or whatever it is, right? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Similar with these guys. They'll just say, I know this. And now, some do. But that question will help you a lot. Other questions I believe that are helpful just to understand if they're orthodox or not is, do you believe the Trinity, the concept of the Trinity is in the Bible, or do you think it's pagan or something like that? Focus on the concept, not the word, because there's lots of concepts in the Bible where the word isn't. So the concept of monotheism, only one God, is not in the Bible. The word Bible is not in the Bible. The Bible never uses the word Bible. It's a Latin word that means book, right? The question about Trinity is the concept, right? That's what we're getting at. Most say, no, it's pagan, it's Roman. It's from other religions. It's a way to see their lack of orthodoxy a lot of times. Another great question to ask, do you believe Jesus is God? Without qualification, without caveat. Almost always they'll say he's a God or something like that. Or yes, but then say, but do you believe you're a God as an Israelite male? If they say yes, then say what differentiates Jesus' deity from yours? Because a lot of them will say yes, but what they're not telling you is they believe all black males are God as Israelites. And when they say God, they don't mean it like they're the one true God. They mean it in a different way, but they think it's okay to call themselves that. That's the God they mean with Jesus. Some of them. So basically, here's what I would say. Ask these kind of questions, and I don't want to tell you to be like rude, but be suspicious. So say, okay, and then ask a follow-up question without acting like you're being suspicious because you're suspicious. Because that's what cultic groups do. That's the doctrinal problem is usually hidden above layers of rhetoric. This has always been the issue. This is why Christians always get trapped up. This is not the only reason. One reason why Christians get caught up in them, one reason is why people get fooled by their danger or lack thereof. This is not the first group, and it's not going to be the last. But if cults weren't deceptive and attractive, no one would join them. So we have to be, a lot of people that drank the Kool-Aid with Jim Jones thought they were in a Christian church at that point. Like same thing with David Koresh. They thought he was unlocking seals that were important to the future of the whole church. So why these negotiators are calling David Koresh on the phone saying, hey, let's get some of the kids out of the building. He's like, the seal is breaking. He's like, because that's what was most important to them. Really good documentary you should watch called Waco. That's actually a dramatization of what happened. Yeah, it is really well done. You might be kind of heated at our government after you watch it though. Basically, which you should be after you watch what they did. Yes, they're heretics, but it doesn't mean we get to burn them up and send tanks after them. But so those are some helpful questions, but basically you have to be kindly suspicious and keep on asking the questions. You can't let go, and you realize, okay. And that's what the Bible says, contend for the faith in Jude 3. There's all kinds of verses that show us to be wise. Doesn't mean we got to be rude. Just realize the devil has all kinds of trips and traps. And, you know, you'll see